Super Ben the Superhero. The enthralling narrative commences with a young boy named Benson who, always curious about the meaning of his name, one day posed the question to his father while they were on their way home from the market. His father explained that Benson's name was derived from his own name Ben because Benson was his son. This revelation did not particularly thrill Benson, however his gaze soon landed upon something captivating: a vibrant superhero costume displayed in a store window. Benson harbored a profound love for superheroes, and deep down he earnestly wished to become one himself. With fervent pleas he asked his father to acquire the costume for him, to which his father ultimately agreed. Upon reaching home, Benson excitedly dashed straight to his room, eager to try on the costume. To his utter astonishment, it fit him perfectly. Suddenly an unexpected voice resonated, proclaiming, "Wow, what, whoa, 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 what's happening? Benson, the supersuit is now at your service." A startled Benson questioned who was SP Eking, and the voice identified itself as the suit he was wearing. The suit explained that it molds itself to the body of the person who wears it and then bestows upon them superhuman abilities. Initially Benson dismissed this as a dream, but the suit firmly asserted its reality. Benson then cautiously asked if this meant he could fly into the air and soar over the streets of the city, to which the suit confirmed, adding yes and much more. It further elaborated that it operates on commands, requiring Benson to simply say supersuit followed by his desired action. Embracing this newfound power, Benson commanded, "Okay, a supersuit, let's fly," and immediately the suit activated flight. Benson cried out in amazement, exclaiming, "Wow, oh my god, woo-hoo, this is amazing," as he gracefully glided through the air, surveying his city much like the superheroes he admired in comic books. During his aerial patrol, Benson suddenly noticed a commotion below. The police had surrounded an area from all sides, demanding that Omion come out. He quickly learned it was a robbery and the perpetrators had taken hostages inside a bank. Uncertain of what to do, he heard the suit's guiding voice remind him, "Remember, Benson, I give you the powers, but it is the person inside you that can make them super." Taking courage, Benson resolved, "All right, let's go," and descended to confront the robbers. The robbers, defiant, warned him that he was in no position to tell them what to do and threatened to harm the hostages. Benson, now embodying his heroic persona like the superhero he had become, bravely fought the robbers, subduing them all until they lay unconscious on the ground. The crowd, now safe, cheered for him, calling him a hero. When asked his name, Benson, caught off guard, stumbled slightly before declaring himself Super Ben. Soon the valiant heroics of Super Ben spread throughout every corner of the city. He consistently rescued people from danger, aided the police in tracking down the most wanted criminals, and bravely fought crime, even thwarting a big heist by blowing its cover at school. Benson would discreetly observe his friends and other students express their awe for Super Ben, and he secretly relished in their admiration. However, a sinister presence had begun to cast its shadow near his school. This was Razgar, an evil man who had dedicated his entire life to finding the supersuit. He had finally pinpointed its location with a malicious glee. Razgar plotted his next move, thinking, "Oh, so this is the possessor of the supersuit. Time to play a little game." The very next day, Razgar moved into Benson's neighborhood. Slowly and deliberately he befriended Benson's family, and very quickly he grew close to Benson himself. Benson was delighted, exclaiming, "Whoa, Uncle Razgar, you like comic books too?" To which Razgar replied, "Like no love," and feigned disappointment, with a particular ending sparking a conversation about self-sacrifice. As days turned into weeks, Razgar confidently knew he had won Benson's trust. He then set his plan into MOT. On the following day, as Razgar and Benson were taking a walk in the park, they were suddenly confronted by robbers who demanded they empty their wallets, threatening to hurt them both. Razgar, feigning terror, urged Benson to run, whispering, "Run you, your Super Ben." Benson, still trusting Razgar, smiled, believing he could confide in him. Razgar then expressed a false yearning to experience being a superhero, asking, "Wow, it must feel great, you know, I've always wanted to be a superhero, even if it was for a minute. I just want to know how it feels like to be one of the guys in the comic books." Benson, relating to his sentiment, replied, "I know, Mr. Razgar, I used to feel the same, yes, but I guess not everyone is that lucky." With a feigned look of sadness, Razgar hung his head low and began to walk away, being a kind-hearted person. Benson was deeply moved and felt profound sadness for him. He impulsively offered the suit to Razgar, saying, "Mr. Razgar, here, go become a superhero for a few minutes. I will wait for you right here." Razgar, still pretending, objected that the suit wouldn't fit him, but Benson reassured him, "It fits whoever wears it, you silly boy. I know everything about the suit." At this, Razgar's evil eyes shone with triumph, and he immediately donned the suit. Instantly, he began to levitate in the air. The suit's voice confirmed, "Rosa, the superb suit is now at your service." Razgar, no longer needing to hide his true nature, mockingly asked Benson how stupid he was, revealing, "This suit is what I have been looking for my whole life. I am a villain, now a supervillain, and I have been after the suit for years, and finally I have it." He then callously dismissed Benson, telling him to go back to your ordinary life. "Ordinary human, I will spare your life for you. Gave me the suit." When Benson questioned his intentions, Razgar chillingly declared, "Oh, not much, I just have a world to dominate. Supersuit fly." Benson was filled with instant regret at lamenting, "No, oh, what have I done?" But it was too late. Back in the city, Razgar had already commenced his malevolent deeds. He unleashed chaos, defying the police and declaring, "You will all bow down to me. I, Razgar, am the new ruler of this city. No mayor, no government, I rule, and you all serve." The terrified citizens cried out that Super Ben would come to save them, but Razgar gloated, "Super Ben, there is no Super Ben anymore. Look, I have his costume, and the one who has the suit is the Sup." Razgar's reign of terror did not cease in that single city. He advanced to the next, and then the next, relentlessly pursuing his plan for world domination. He seemed unstoppable as armies, navies, and air forces around the world proved utterly unable to halt his rampage. It was whispered that the suit itself was the source of all his power, and taking it away from him was the sole means to end the madness. But the question remained, who would be brave enough to confront him and save the world from his wrath? Meanwhile, a despondent and dejected Benson sat by his window, consumed by self-reproach for his naivety. Then a flicker of hope ignited as he recalled the suit's earlier words, "Remember, Benson, I give you the powers, but it is the person inside you that can make them super." He realized, yes, that's it. Suddenly Benson witnessed fresh chaos erupting in the streets. Once more it was Razgar who taunted, "It's him, he has come back. I see that you have still not accepted my dominance. You give me no choice, so Superban has resorted to sticks and stones now. That Super B, look at their Super B, catch me if you can." A furious Razgar, enraged by Benson's defiance, chased him directly into an abandoned warehouse. Benson, hiding, taunted him, "I'm here, I am going to her a tapo. Sorry, I'm here, you are finished. This has stop playing games. If I find you, you're over." Benson then cleverly commanded, "You can't find me unless you superp suit reboot the suit." To Razgar's horror responded, "Supersuit reboot." Rebooting this might take several minutes. Razgar frantically tried to stop it. "What? No, 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 stop Supersuit, stop rebooting in progress. This might take several minutes." Seizing the opportunity, Benson declared, "Your time's up, Razgar. I will put your hands up in the air." Razgar, attempting to use the suit's powers, commanded, "Supersuit, shoot laser beams." But the suit's voice again repeated, Rebooting this might take several minutes. Benson, now asserting control, calmly told Razgar, "Freeze now, okay, relax, relax, I am doing it." At that precise moment the police arrived, grabbed Razgar and successfully removed the suit from him. By then a large crowd had gathered at the warehouse. An officer holding the suit stated, "This belongs to you," offering it to Benson. However, Benson, with newfound wisdom, responded, "I think this shouldn't belong to anyone, for we've seen the dangers it can cause." And so Benson performed the most unexpected act. He set the powerful suit on fire. Razgar was subsequently taken into captivity, and the crowd erupted in cheers for Benson, chanting, "Super Ben, Super Ben, Super Ben." In that pivotal moment, Benson truly became a superhero without ever again using the suit, unequivocally proving that one does not require superhuman abilities to accomplish something heroic. All that is necessary is to utilize one's human self to the fullest, and the world will recognize them as a superhero, for we all have powers, it is just up to us to make them super. The narrative deeply explores the concept of true heroism, emphasizing that superhuman abilities are not a prerequisite for performing heroic deeds. Initially, Benson relies entirely on the supersuit for his powers, performing acts of bravery that establish him as Super Ben across the city. However, the suit itself subtly introduces the crucial theme that while it provides the powers, it is the person within who makes them truly super. This foundational message is revisited and powerfully reinforced when Benson, stripped of the suit and facing a global catastrophe caused by Razgar, must rely solely on his intellect and human courage to save the world. His ingenious plan to exploit the suit's reboot function and his subsequent decision to destroy the suit, thereby eliminating its dangerous potential for all time, solidifies his transformation into a hero who transcends mere power, embodying a higher form of bravery and selflessness. Furthermore, the story highlights the consequences of naivety and misplaced trust. Benson, being inherently kind-hearted, is manipulated by Razgar's cunning deception. Razgar, a lifelong seeker of the suit with villainous intentions, patiently cultivates a close relationship with Benson and his family, ultimately exploiting Benson's compassionate nature to gain possession of the suit. This act of trust, though born of good intentions, inadvertently unleashes a global reign of terror. This plot point serves as a poignant reminder that even good people can make mistakes with severe repercussions, and that critical judgment is essential alongside kindness. The supersuit itself functions as a potent symbol throughout the story. It is not inherently good or evil, but rather an amplifier of the wearer's true nature. In Benson's hands, it facilitates acts of protection and justice. In Razgar's possession, it enables a path of domination and destruction. The ultimate act of setting the suit on fire signifies that true power does not reside in external objects or abilities, but within the individual's character and choices. By destroying the suit, Benson not only prevents its future misuse but also demonstrates his understanding that genuine heroism stems from internal strength and moral resolve, not from an external source of power. The villain's motivation and methods are meticulously laid out. Razgar is presented as an individual driven by a singular lifelong ambition to acquire the super suit and achieve world domination. His methods are not brute force initially, but rather a calculated and patient campaign of deception, infiltrating Benson's life to gain his trust before enacting his ultimate betrayal. This portrayal adds depth to the conflict, showing that intelligence and manipulation can be just as dangerous as overt strength. Finally, the climax and resolution are particularly insightful. The story does not culminate in a direct physical confrontation of superpowered beings, but rather in a Strategic battle of wits. Benson without the suit outmaneuvers the seemingly unstoppable Razgar by understanding the suit's own internal workings and exploiting its vulnerability. This unexpected turn demonstrates that heroism can manifest in various forms, prioritizing intellect and cleverness over raw power. The very final message, "We all have powers, it is just up to us to make them super," serves as the ultimate distillation of the story's core philosophy, empowering the audience to recognize their own inherent potential for greatness without needing fantastical abilities.